Welcome back to the Raiders Coaches Show presented by Iowa State Bank. I'm your host, Noah Godsell, and I'm joined today by head men's soccer coach Dan Swier. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Well, Coach, at the time of this recording, your team is 7-1-1 on the season, 2-0 in conference. Overall, what are you liking from your team?
I'm really excited about the buy-in we have right now. I thought that was going to be our biggest challenge this year was a lot of young players, not a lot of experience returning. And we knew that our success this year would be based on that group with so many new young players coming together and buying into becoming a team. And so early in the year, we had to work through some things, but I feel like we're really on a good pathway toward being a great team right now.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, a lot of new players last season, a really strong group of seniors, 2 GPAC championships as well. What are some of those people that you've really seen step up and these newcomers that you've brought in that are helping the team keep that championship level?
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a good mix of some young guys that are true freshmen that are kind of showing some really promising things. We've had some of our sophomores who are key players as freshmen already that are now stepping into more of an important role both on the field but also as leaders. But then we also brought in some older guys that are transfers in the last year and a half, and we've been really, really pleased with Julio Palombo, Eduardo Alessandrini, our goalkeeper, and then we have another transfer, Juan Miranda. Those are all 3 transfers from junior colleges that really have come in as older players, and even though they haven't been in the program for a long time, have really established themselves as leaders as well. So it's been kind of a nice mix of everything.
Yeah, and going into some of the specifics on your team this season, the defense has just been rock solid. 0.82 goals against average. You allow 8.1 shots per game, and you have 4 shutouts in the 9 games that you've played so far. What have you liked about their performance, and what kind of impact are they making on these games?
Yeah, I think if you look back at my time as the coach here historically, even though I was an attacker as a player, I tend to be more of a defensive-minded coach and really look to build my teams around a solid back line. And again, we've graduated so many key players that have been all-conference, all-Americans for us on our back line over the last few years. And man, I couldn't be happier about some of these freshman guys that we've brought in on the back line and how they're contributing right away, and just some really, really special players. But then couple that with the leadership of a guy like Ado, who's our goalkeeper, and he's got that maturity to help guys really come together. And I mean, keeping shutouts is all about putting your body on the line to keep the ball out of the net, and we've seen some exciting, promising things from some of our young guys back there so far.
And you mentioned that youth. How high do you think the ceiling is for that defensive line that you have this season?
I think that we go into every match with the objective of keeping a shutout, and I think if you can do that more often than you don't, then you're going to win a lot of games. And so we want to be in that position game in and game out to keep a shutout and give ourselves a chance to win. There's hasn't been a game yet this year, and I expect that there won't be one where we get to the second half and we feel like it's game over already and we don't have a chance. So it's big credit to those guys.
And they always say defense wins championships, but you can't win a game if you don't score. But offensively, you've scored 2.44 goals per game, 72 shots on goal, and 24 assists. I mean, where have you seen the improvement in your attack this season?
Yeah, so we kind of had a formation change after our very first match. We've run the same formation for probably 8 to 10 years now. And of course, I can recruit players to fit that system, and it's a blessing. But we recognized right away early in the year that the strengths of this team was not in that formation. So going into our second, it was actually the first match that was a no contest due to lightning. Going into our second match, with no practice. We tried a new formation, and it's just been great. So I think the reason we're able to have so many guys have success on the attacking side of the ball is because we've fit the system to their strengths, and we've seen some really good things come out of that. I also think that we have a lot of guys who are pushing each other. There's not like a clearly established, in the past it was Stan and Alex that were the guys, and this year I wouldn't say we have that. And so every day in training, there's always somebody pushing somebody else, and they're all competing for that spot on the field come match day. And so I think that's a really healthy environment for us.
Yeah, would you say that your team has a lot of depth this year as well, where you can just throw anyone in there and you're still going to continue to be successful?
Yeah, I told the guys before our last match that, in most seasons, by the time you get to conference play, we know here's our best 11. And those are almost a lock if they're not injured to be the starting 11. This year's different. We trust more players on the field than what I would say we usually do. And that means, the lineup can be different. A lot of guys know that if they play well that week in training or in the matches, that they're going to earn themselves more time in the next one. And so we've had depth in the past, but I feel like this year feels a little bit different. The depth is more widespread. And it's really a one-for-one at every position. In the past, sometimes it's like, okay, this is our best defender on the bench, so he's the next guy on the field no matter who we need to replace, whereas now it's almost like each specific position we have at least a second or a third player that we can go to, which is nice.
Thanks, Coach. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about some individual players here on the Raider Coaches Show, presented by Iowa State Bank.
There's nothing like small-town Iowa. There's something about the people, the community, the values. That's why we call Northwest Iowa home. We're here for our community. We're here to build a better tomorrow. We continue to provide personalized service and innovative products to help achieve your financial goals and dreams. At Iowa State Bank, we're your neighbor, your friend, your trusted bank.
Iowa State Bank, we're ready for you.
Welcome back to the Raiders Coaches Show, presented by Iowa State Bank. I'm your host, Noah Godsell, here with head men's soccer coach Dan Swier. Coach, we just focused a lot more on the team aspect of it, and obviously there's particular individuals that make big impacts on the team. And the first person I want to talk about is Drew Darnold. It really seems like he's finding that offensive stride that you were looking for when you brought him here on campus. 6 goals this season, scoring in the last 3 games, 1 GPAC Player of the Week. How does it feel to see him find the back of the net and just get into his offensive stride?
Yeah, I think he had a lot of expectation on his shoulders when he came here. He was highly touted as a recruit. He had a good freshman season, but he was thrown into, that challenge of being a freshman, playing with some really experienced guys around you and having to figure out how to adapt to that. This year coming into it, I wondered, is he and maybe a couple other sophomores ready for this, ready to be the guy? And I would say he had a little bit of a start that he was frustrated with. And recently we sat down together and talked about, okay, what's going well, what needs to go better, what can you do, what can your teammates do? We talked through all that, gave him some different things, and right after that, all of a sudden, he took off. So we're really excited because, again, he has certain strengths, and I think our system of play and the way we're playing is starting to mesh really well with what his strengths are, and that's, he's a finisher. He's a guy that if he can get the ball in and around the box, he's going to put it in the back of the net, and we're really starting to see his confidence grow as we've been able to do more of that.
And another guy that really seems to have stepped up this year too is Giannis Kuhn, already exceeding his statistics from last year, 2 goals, 3 assists. He's second on the team in points, but it just seems like he has control of the game when he's on the field. What type of impact is he making just from a professional soccer standpoint?
Yeah, he's another one that I think the formation change got him maybe just a little higher on the field more regularly. He's such an attacking weapon. But as an outside back in our previous system, he maybe didn't get quite as much time in the attacking half of the field, and now he does. And he's got a knack for contributing in big moments. That win against Concordia was huge, and who comes out and scores the first goal? His first goal of the season. We've played teams that are not as good as Concordia, but when it's a big match, he shows up, he scores a big goal for us.
This is a good goal, too.
Yeah, a beautiful goal. He's getting assists. So yeah, he's a top player and has become a leader in the team this year. Again, showing that he's mature enough to handle, pressure, big moments. He has a way he wants to play, and he asserts himself into the game, which we love to see.
And the last guy I really want to talk about, you kind of hinted at it, Eduardo Alessandrini, coming in, the new starting goalkeeper for this team. And it's his first year on campus, first full year on campus. He came last spring, but he's already got the captain's band on.
Yep.
I mean, he's making an impact on the field, but I want to talk about how he's making an impact on the field and off the field for this team.
Yeah, I think we knew right away when he stepped in through the doors in January that he was a leader. He's got the natural leadership ability. He's respected because the way he interacts with his teammates and holds them to a standard. They respect the way he does that. And he's all business all the time. I mean, he can smile, he can laugh, but day in and day out at training, when training starts, he expects everybody to get down to business. And when that happens in the training setting, that carries over to the match field, and he makes sure of it. I've always appreciated leaders that can give feedback and criticism to their teammates without it tearing them down. It's very constructive and gives them information instead of "you need to be better," right? Types of comments. And so he does a good job of that. And then, on the field with his performances, kind of one of my mantras over the years is that you need your goalkeeper to be able to make one big game-saving play per match. If he can do that, then you're gonna have a lot of success. And he's done that. I think he saved a penalty in a game that maybe would have tied the game if he hadn't made the save, and then we go down and score and make it 2-0. Right, that's a turning point in a match when he can do that. And our first win of the season at Montreat. There's a team we should have probably been doing better against, but it was 0-0 in the second half.
New formation, too.
Yeah, the new formation. Yeah, that was part of it. But he made a couple big saves in that game to keep it 0-0. And then we all know what happened after that is we scored with, under 30 seconds left to win it. So he's proven that he's got that one big moment in him in every single match, it makes or breaks a season. It really does.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with some more from Coach Swier here on the Raiders Coaches Show, presented by Iowa State Bank.
Looking for that perfect home? There's more to it than finding that perfect house in the perfect neighborhood. It's also important to find a personal banking experience that makes you feel right at home. At Iowa State Bank, we get that. That's why we're here to personally service your loans and make that dream home become a reality. We're your neighbor, your friend, your trusted bank.
Iowa State Bank, we're ready for you.
Welcome back to the Raiders Coaches Show, presented by Iowa State Bank. I'm Noah Godsell, joined here by Coach Dan Swier, head coach of the men's soccer team. Coach, 18th season this year. Just overall looking back at those 18 years, how has coaching helped you grow personally over these years?
Man, that's a good question.
Thanks.
I think one of the things I appreciate the most is, I've always said that working with college-age students is such an exciting thing because they are in really the prime of their life. It's such a transformational period in a person's life, and it's just fun to be around people when they're in that stage. As I've gotten older, it becomes harder and harder for me to identify with a 18 to 25-year-old. But what I appreciate is it's kept me young, so to speak, in that I'm really aware of what it means to, not want change and to be stuck in your ways and do things the way you do them because you've always done it. Like, I've really been able to examine myself and try to avoid some of those traps and pitfalls because I want to be able to work with these young people in a way that is meaningful for them. So I think that's one big thing. I also think that it's helped me kind of, as odd as this might sound, become less selfish. It's something I teach my players, and a lot of times young people are very selfish, but it's also helped me realize how selfish I am too. And so it's helped me become a more selfless person as I've looked to serve people where they're at as their coach. So those would be just a couple things that come to mind.
And something that's really unique for you and your teams is the amount of international students that you bring to Northwestern's campus. I mean, beyond the impact that they make on the field, how do you feel they make a change on this campus and with your team, just with the different perspectives and cultures that they bring?
Yeah, I mean, I was blessed to really, for the first time in my life when I was a player here, get exposed to people who weren't like me. And that was tremendously valuable to me when I was, an 18 to 22-year-old. And so when I came here as the coach and I looked back on my time as a player, it was the best 4 years of my life. And so my vision for the program is that would be true for my players. And I think a part of that is being exposed to people who aren't like you, and meeting people where they're at and learning about other cultures and people who are from different places and how you show up in those relationships. And so I think it's tremendously valuable for both the guys who are coming here from other countries, but also for our domestic students. That's a two-way street, right? You can learn about someone else and they can learn about you, and both sides have something to offer. So we see that within our team. I think it also does carry over to the campus as a whole. It's valuable for our campus community as well. And I could start listing off some of the ways and the examples, but yeah, there's a long list of why I think it's really valuable.
Yeah, and last thing for you, I mean, me personally, going to a bunch of your games, it's really ignited my love for soccer. I've just loved watching all of your games. But what's your message to Raider fans out there, just to get them out there? What can they expect when they watch your team and why they should come watch?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I appreciate about the sport, because I didn't grow up in a strong soccer culture either, and now I live and breathe it day in and day out.
It is your job.
It is my job. It's also, I watch professional matches multiple times a week, and the thing that I think I appreciate is just how much of a team effort it takes to score a goal. Just the one objective in the sport is to score, and what it takes to do that, the amount of sacrifice and drive and determination that all could go into that from all 11 players on the field just to score one goal. It's such a great feeling. It's interesting because Alex Schussman is in his first year on staff now, former player of mine, been out for several years. We score that game winner at Montreat as time is running out. It's our first goal of the season. It's a game winner. And everything settles down. The game is over. And he comes up to me and he says, "Man, I forgot how good that feels." and he's right. It's an incredible feeling. And if you're a fan and you're invested in the team, we see our host families come to these matches, and friends and roommates of some of these guys, they feel that, right? When we score a goal and see how big of a celebration and achievement and accomplishment that is, they start to feel that too, the goosebumps that you can get from it. And so I think that would be my invitation is it's a really special experience. If you really want to buy into it and have fun with it, then you could have those feelings too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a feeling that I wish I was able to get, and I hope everyone on the team gets that chance too, especially one specific person. You know who that is. But we'll see you next time here on the Northwestern College Raiders Coaches Show presented by Iowa State Bank. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Go Raiders.